Well, I guess we should start the video. Hello everyone, welcome to another tier list ranking. Sarah was happy enough to come and do another one with me, which I'm very thankful for. I'm always thankful that she wants to come around, and also you guys can't get enough of her, and she keeps calling herself my what did you say, like I'm content farming you?
Yeah, I'm your content farm.
My content farm, my easy content farming. I'm sorry, I keep her on the ranch and I let her out when it's time to do tier lists. She's been restless. For those who don't know, Sarah is my Discord mod. As always, first and foremost, my Discord mod. She's also my Twitch mod. She's also my friend, which she would probably deny, but she is.
Hater, purveyor of melon tea hatred.
And she's my number one hater as well. We can't forget that one. Sarah, say hello to everyone for me, please.
Hi, everyone. Great to be back. Love to see that you don't like me in the comments, or at least you don't like my opinions. Can't wait for another one.
Do you remember what we did last time? The tier list we did last time?
Yes, I believe it was particularly lustful in nature, and it was villains.
I was considering doing villains again because there are so many in One Piece. We still didn't cover all of them, and even with a third one we probably wouldn't cover all of them. We would be somewhat scraping the bottom of the barrel. We got all the big ones out of the way. Look, I guarantee you I'm saying this and there's going to be people who are going to be upset, like, what do you mean you didn't get this person, you didn't get this person? It always happens. There is always some mega fan of every single One Piece character out there, so I will have a mob in the comments being upset at me for skipping certain One Piece villains. Whatever. We're moving on to new heights. We might come back to One Piece villains one day, but can you guess or can you think what could we possibly be doing today?
So I think I need to think not what I want. And if it was up to me, it would just be a Corona tier list. Heroes
in One Piece? What is My Hero Academia? What the do you think this is about? Nah. Get off the stage. I'm throwing you off the cane, the cartoon cane. I'm like yanking you off the stage. That was disgusting of you. What we're doing today is we're doing mentors. We're doing One Piece mentors. This is still lustful. We are still ranking them based on their lust because that's very important. That's a very important aspect of these videos in my opinion. These mentors especially, One Piece has some of, I want to say, the most like sought after mentors. I don't know. For me anyway, there are a few on this list that I am so excited to get to. I'm so excited. So go a little bit feral about.
So it's like a MILF, DILF, and filth.
MILF, DILF, GILF, all that stuff, all that good stuff. And I don't even have all the mentors. These are only the Straw Hats mentors because I was considering going outside the Straw Hats. It's just too many. There's already over 16 people on this list, Sarah. we can't be doing that. You know what I mean? Like this is, I'm saying this not to you, but to everyone in the audience, to everyone watching, because again, I've told you how they are. It happens every video and they still don't listen to me. They still throw tomatoes at me. We will not be getting to every mentor on the list, and I have to say it outright right now. You're not going to know who this is, but people are going to know who this is. Whitebeard is not on the list. I'm sorry. He's not a Straw Hat mentor. He can't be on the list. Maybe one day we'll get to him. I'm just saying it because I know I'm going to get screaming people telling me, asking me, where is he? He's not on the list. It's not happening. I'm sorry. We'll get to him another time. Are you okay with that, Sarah?
That was so impassioned.
I'm so passionate because no one listens to me, Sarah. No one listens to me. I can't deal with it anymore. Anyways, so yes, we're doing just the Straw Hat mentors. This will work like the last video. I will present a character. I'll tell you their name. I'll tell you their story. And then we'll rate them on our personal lust appeal. And there's a lot of big names on this list. A lot of big names. So Sarah, you might be hunted down. I might be hunted down. There might be a lot of hunting down done after this video because a lot of people are passionate about the people that we will be addressing on this list. Either way, I'm excited. Are you excited?
I am. And indeed, Mel, that would have been a great time to segue into your sponsor.
Sarah, see you in 30 seconds or more than that, probably a minute. Everybody, if you don't want to be hunted down on the internet, guess who you can get as your VPN dealer? Are you scared of the internet? Do you want to explore without being blasted to ash and bones? Then you should use NordVPN. We all know how much of our lives we spend online, whether it's shopping, banking, or even just browsing social media. But did you know that your personal information could be at risk every time you connect to the internet? That's where NordVPN comes in. NordVPN is your all-in-one security solution, encrypting your connection and keeping your data safe from hackers, trackers, and even your own internet service provider. So that stinky little FBI agent can't see you Googling, you already know. Zorro's big fat boobies. With NordVPN, you can browse securely, access content from around the world, and enjoy fast speeds with no buffering. That means one-piece content for all. So if you're serious about protecting your online privacy, head over to NordVPN and enter my code to get an exclusive deal today. This code being in the description and in the pinned comment. Or you can use my link, nordvpn.com/melontea, also found below. Plus, they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out. NordVPN can be your protector, your lifeline, your high school prom sweetheart, while browsing the online world. A VPN is so worth it, so grab that deal now. And thank you so much NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Hello everyone, we have returned. Sarah, thank you for your patience as we got into that sponsorship segment. Are you ready? Are you ready to get into some mentors?
I'm so ready. I want to learn.
Now, I'm scared of the first guy that's about to pop up. I've gone in order of the Straw Hats because every Straw Hat has 2 mentors. Nearly every Straw Hat has 2 mentors each. So the first guy that's about to pop up, this is a big one. This is a very big one. Are you ready to see him?
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go.
Here he comes.
I know this one. I know this one. I know him.
Do you know how surprisingly annoying it was to get like a colored manga version of this goddamn guy, considering how popular he is? It was a pain in the ass. And he is so popular. His name is Shanks, by the way. I didn't tell you. You know him. You know this man. You've seen this man.
Do you know what shanking is in the UK?
Yeah, the stabbing.
Yeah!
You have no idea. I had a theory. It was such a stupid theory. I was like, maybe his name is Shanks because he's going to backstab someone. And you know what's funny? He kind of did. It wasn't really. But, do you know Buggy? Buggy the clown. You must remember Buggy.
Wah, wah, clown.
This is like technically his like boy best friend ex.
Oh my god.
Can you believe that?
He was a boy bestie.
They were the same age and they were like raised together by the previous pirate king of One Piece's world. They were like joined by the hip, Shanks and Buggy. The previous pirate king died, which was essentially like the guy that raised them, right? And Buggy said to Shanks, like, aren't you gonna go be the pirate king? Aren't we gonna go sail the world together? And Shanks said, no. And Buggy like cried and yelled at him and said, I can't believe you, you coward. And they never saw each other again in like 17 years or 18 years or something like that. So he fumbled his clown bestie.
That's a huge Shanks L.
That's a huge Shanks L, right? It's a huge Shanks L. Some people call it a Buggy L. I disagree. I think it was a Shanks L. And you know why? Because Shanks didn't run after him and he should have. And it's really funny because he sees Buggy again and he goes, oh my god, Buggy! But Buggy is thinking, oh shit, it's Shanks.
It's like when you see your ex in public.
I knew that when I can talk about this guy, I'd get caught on Buggy and Shanks. I really like Buggy and Shanks. I think they're so funny. They're like 40-year-old, like, washed bums.
They fumbled each other.
And then this is what he looks like in Film Red, which I think is really funny. I don't know why he looks like that, and I think about this a lot.
Why has he got like a short face?
I know, look at his neck. It's like 1,000,000 miles long. I think it's beautiful. Right, so I haven't actually gotten into Shanks himself. Shanks is the captain of the Redhead Pirates. Very original name. Absolutely stunning. He's an artist for that one. He would be around Luffy's like village when Luffy was younger, and he is the reason Luffy's a Gumu Gumu guy, because he had the Gum Gum fruit on his person when he went to visit Luffy when Luffy was a little baby in like a bar, a tavern, and Luffy ate it without Shanks noticing.
Oh my god.
Again, this man, in my opinion, full of fumbles, full of L's. So this is a grown man yelling at a child for eating something that he left there, you know. However, what he did do is Luffy then got caught by these Bountain bandits that wanted to kill him. The Bountain bandits? Mountain mountain bandits. The mountain bandit threw Luffy into the water. Luffy can't swim, so Shanks jumped in to save him. A big sea monster jumped up to eat Luffy, and the sea monster ate Shanks's arm. And then Shanks went to set off to the sea, and he said to Luffy, this will be the last time I'll probably be seeing you. At that point, Luffy said, you know, I will become a pirate and I'm going to become the pirate king. I'll be the greatest pirate on the seas. And Shanks said, okay, let's make that a promise. And he put the straw hat on Luffy's head. So he gave Luffy the straw hat.
Oh.
And Luffy really likes Shanks. He admires Shanks. The reason Luffy is a lot of the way he is right now is because of Shanks. He was like the cool older pirate that Luffy really, really liked. And he's a good guy. I think Shanks is a good guy. We don't know that much about him.
I was gonna say.
You can count the number of panels he's been in on one hand. I'm not even kidding. It's been 25 years this manga has been out over that. I only became more invested in Shanks once the buggy stuff happened. And I was like, oh, so he has some old man yaoi drama going on.
Yeah.
He also has, I don't have his first mate on the screen, but he has the hottest first mate. Not the hottest, but one of the hottest. His name is Ben Beckman or something. It's Ben something. I'm sorry, Ben fans out there. It's a stupid name. I can never say it. But he's got a sexy pirate crew. Shanks is a sexy man. I'll admit it. He's got a sexy pirate crew. Mm-hmm. Apart from that, we don't really know anything. Just recently, actually, he just blew up 2 ships. So I'm excited to see more of him. And until then, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about this guy?
Yeah. So I think this Shanks guy, objectively, I feel he's associated with Luffy, which just automatically brings him up in my books for some reason. I do have one observation, and that is that you mentioned that he's from a redhead crew.
No, he called them the redhead pirates because he's the captain. They're not all redheads. It's just him.
As a not natural redhead currently myself, I want to point out that he isn't a natural redhead.
How do you know?
That colour. Be for real.
Okay, the only reason I don't agree with you on that is because I know this man does not shower.
To be fair, he's looking a bit dirty on his even in this image here.
Yeah, I think he's a dirty guy. So personally, I think that's just grease.
Yeah, but Mel, if he doesn't shower, that will just keep the dye in there for longer.
No, but I can't see him caring about dyeing his hair.
How does your hair stay so pink, Mel? You don't shower.
I do shower.
How
dare you? Oh my god, how dare you? We are not doing this on this channel. No one is going to make that. You know, you are going to start terrible rumors about my stink. But my observation is I think the reason his hair is that red is I do think it is more of a natural red. That's just grease.
I see. It's just
I
added.
think he smells.
Okay.
Also, my favorite observation of Shanks personally is, do you see his eyes?
Mm-hmm.
They look dead. He looks dead inside. He did not look like that when he was a child. And guess who he had with him?
Bro, stop clowning on this guy.
He clowned on himself by losing the clown. Now he's dead inside. Also, I forgot to tell you, he's a raging alcoholic.
Oh my god.
All he does is drink and be sad. And I'm telling you, the clown is part of it. I have many mixed feelings about him. Anyway, would you like to rank him?
When you look at this guy, objectively, he's hot. But we've discussed a lot about his hygiene, his psyche,
his mental depression,
the fact that he seems to still be hung up on his childhood lover,
his crippling alcoholism.
You know, I think I need to think more objectively. Obviously, this is, a sexy tier list, a lustful tier list. So, how do I think One Night with Shanks would go? I'm not even sure we would get anywhere, because I think it would happen at a bar. And I think he would be blackout in front of the bartender before I could even get a word in.
Wait, but you are correct. Is the thing. I do think you're right. I think he'd be absolutely gone before you could even have a chance of talking to him. Or he doesn't listen to you. But he strikes me as the type as he's just listening to be polite and not listening to listen. Do you understand? He's not interested.
And I feel in the heat of the moment he might say buggy.
Wait, this is so exciting. We're not gonna get to him yet. He has another guy that I think he fumbled. I'm so excited.
Okay. Another mentor too.
There's two. And there are two baddies. I'm not even kidding. Buggy and another baddie. An absolute baddie. He fumbled so bad, but we'll get to that.
And he's gonna fumble 3 when I walk in the bar. So I think Shanks can have D tier.
Oh, people are gonna scream and cry at you for that one. They love this man.
The thing is, objectively, he's really attractive. He might be British. He's called Shanks.
Oh, God, don't say he's British.
But if I met him in a dusty bar in the UK, maybe at Southampton at a port, he would be on port and he would be slumped over at the bar crying about his boy besties that he's fumbled. Get him off my screen. What a disappointment.
Yeah, well, I have to still do my ranking. Thank you very much.
Where's he going for you then?
That is such a good question because this man torments me. I see him everywhere and I never got his appeal until the buggy fumble because here's my thing, Sarah. I don't have daddy issues.
Oh God.
I've met so many men who like this man. Those men, daddy issues.
Daddy issues out of the wazoo. Why was it the little the little bromance that got you?
Because I like tragedy. I like to see a man be pathetic. I'm a big fan of that. I didn't know that Shanks had it so rough until recently. I thought he was just living the high life, personally. But then we found out he fumbled 2 bad bitches. We found out he's a raging alcoholic. We found out that he just hasn't done anything. Quite literally hasn't done anything for like 17 years. And it's like, this is a man who's been on his ass for over a decade.
Bro needs to get up and grind.
But here's the thing. I agree with you. I think this man is stuck in the past. He's not exactly my type, is the thing. I think he's attractive. He's physically so attractive. Even in the canon universe, people think he's like dashing. My thing with him, and it's always the biggest issue, his hygiene. It's gotta be awful. It's just gotta be terrible. This is just there's no way this man showers like more than once a week, right? There's no way. This raging alcoholic.
Oh, and he'd have like the drunk sweats you get as well.
The drunk sweat, exactly. So I like him. There's many factors about him that I enjoy, but for me personally, he's going in C.
Ooh.
He's not super high up there. He's not super down either. He could be better. Maybe if he had a better life. Maybe if he didn't fumble.
Maybe if he was completely different.
I don't think I can fix him. I don't think that's for me.
He's drinking to forget.
I'm sorry, Shanks fans. I'm sorry. He's not for me. And Sarah, I'm telling you, this guy, like the amount of people that want him so carnally, we will get executed for this. They're going to say L take, L opinion. We're going to get judged. I'm sorry. He stinks.
Get on the grind, Shanks.
He looks so shit there. I'm sorry. All right.
Why is his chin so clapped?
He looks like a pug. Are you ready? Oh my God, I'm so excited. Are you ready for the next guy?
Let's do it. Who is this person?
Oh my God. So this is Luffy's second mentor. Oh, I'm so excited.
So this is like an official train. This person is godlike.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Who is this person?
Oh my God. I'm actually about to shit my pants. You don't understand. I have to say, I want to beat this man so goddamn bad. You do not understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. Every time he comes on screen, I'm screaming like a banshee.
Oh my, I love him.
Oh,
He's so sexy. What the hell?
oh, I feel like a monster. Do you want to see him when he was young?
Yes.
I can't. I have to contain myself.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. He's blonde.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's blonde. He's blonde. You know how I feel about these blonde idiots. They always get me. I shit myself. I pissed my pants. I threw up when I saw his young version. I saw he was blonde. I couldn't believe it. His name? Oh my god. I can't even look at him. Like, oh my god. His name is Rayleigh. That is such an attractive name. I just have to say it. Rayleigh.
Because guess what I want him to do to me?
Don't say it. Back off. Back off. Get in line. Get in line, by the way. Back off. We're not debating about this. Anyways, it's so funny because you know what I said about Shanks and how he was like, oh, he's like a raging alcoholic. This man, raging alcoholic, gambling addiction, stuck in the past, so many things that are wrong with this guy, but I forgive him because he's more my type.
Tell me about this man. How did he come to mentor Luffy?
So he is the Pirate King's first mate. The Pirate King's name, by the way, was Roger. I love Roger. He's not on the list, but if he were, I would just absolutely be exploded. He's the first mate of the Pirate King, the previous Pirate King, so his heyday long gone. He was so close with Roger. He met Roger when he was, I think, 19. What happened is Roger ended up, they sailed the world together. They had a beautiful life together. Roger ended up dying. He got executed. That's what Roger wanted to happen, by the way. But Rayleigh clearly cannot get over it. All this man does is drink and talk about Roger. That's all he does. He drinks, he gambles, he talks about Roger. And I don't have her here, but he has a super hot wife called Shaki. She is so hot. But you know Rayleigh is down horrendously bad, even though he has a super hot wife, and he's still getting drunk and gambling and talking about Roger, right? Actually, he does something so funny. So he lives in a place called Subodhi. What you need to know about Subodhi is in the One Piece world, it's like the slave trading ring.
Oh.
And what he does is he pretends to be caught. So he gets caught, I guess. And he gets sold as a slave. And he does that to then steal money from whoever bought him as a slave. And he just leaves. He just leaves. He gets bought in a slave auction and then he goes, all right, bye. And he takes the money with him and he does that to gamble. And he does that over and over and over again. This man wants to feel something so bad. And it's been implied that he just hates his life because he's an exceptionally strong swimmer. But there's a fisherman called Hachi, his name is. He's like an octopus fisherman. He became friends with Rayleigh because Rayleigh was drowning out at sea. The question is, how could Rayleigh have been drowning if he was like such a strong swimmer?
Bro just didn't want to swim.
Exactly. I'm sure you can see the implications that after he trains Luffy like says goodbye to Rayleigh. He says thanks to Rayleigh. And then Rayleigh like cries and he says, maybe it is worth living a little bit longer.
Oh, I like this guy.
Rayleigh saw a lot of promise and a lot of potential in Luffy, but he also just liked Luffy. He got a attachment, a bond to Luffy. So when Luffy left, that's why he started crying. Because he's like, oh my god, that's my boy. Do you have any questions about this beautiful old man?
I just want to say that I love him. Like I said, Luffy's radar is good. This guy could give me daddy issues and I wouldn't mind.
Are you ready to rank him?
Yes.
Where's he going?
He's going in A.
A?
Yeah. So he's not S because I don't, you know, he's still got the gambling addiction and, you know, he has a hot wife too. You know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't do anything with her because he's still too hung up over Roger, but he at least has standards. But yeah, you know, alcoholism, gambling addiction, do better, sir.
For me, this is so hypocritical considering where I put Shanks and why. This is unbelievably hypocritical. I'm sorry, he's going an S. He's going an S. Are you kidding me? I'm not putting him anywhere else. I'm sorry, he was hot.
I was gonna say, he's so hot. Like, he's so ridiculously hot.
And I've said this many times to many of my viewers. If I were in, I get Shaki, his wife, I totally get it. If I were in her position and the Pirate King had just died and I stumbled in on him on the bar, he was out of his mind, crying, going, ooh, Roger, I'd be like, holy shit, I need this man carnally.
Yep.
Like, I get it. He's so sad. And you know how I feel about sad men. I love sad men. I don't want to fix him.
He didn't fumble anything. He lost something. So that's why it's justifiable. Whereas Shanks just smells.
Fumbler. The Fumbletron 5000. Absolute fumble. So it's like a... Rayleigh has just had a tough, hard life. Shanks walked into it. Unbelievable. Well, I'm actually going to be shot dead saying this. The Shanks man saying, I'm not going to be happy. I'm sorry. I just like Rayleigh more. He's just, so many things are going for him. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows what I do for Rayleigh, what I do to Rayleigh, the things I do.
I mean, Mel, I can't talk either because I ranked him far higher than Shanks solely because I think he's hotter.
And also his entrance is so funny because it's when he's like being caught as a slave, pretending to. And he just walks out.
I forgot about that bit. That's hilarious.
I love him. I love him so dearly. Everything about him. He's perfect to me. To me. He's beautiful to me. I don't care. So yeah, he's in an S. I'd like everyone to know the filthy, terrible things I do to this man. Anyways, let's move on. Oh god, we're going into disgusting territory now.
Excellent.
We're moving on now. God, hang on. Let me just look at him for a little bit more. I feel like an animal in a cage. I'm shaking the bars. Anyways, we're moving on to Zoro's mentors.
Oh, ick. You're trying to tell me that Zoro had mentors. I've seen clips of him. He is feral. Whoever mentored him failed.
Oh, get ready for this. Get ready for the first guy, in my opinion, massive failure.
Okay, let's go then. Let's go. I want to have a strong word with these people.
This guy's name is Koushirou. Here's what he, and again, sorry for the bad Photoshop job. I couldn't give a shit. There's the first manga image, and then there he is in the anime. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know who likes this guy. I don't know if anyone likes this guy. I think it's a red flag if you do like this guy. This guy ran a dojo, and Zoro was like a feral little kid. The dojo that this guy ran was a male-only dojo. He had a daughter called Kureha. This daughter that he had was better than any other boy in the dojo, to the point that she beat Zoro multiple times. His loss streak, I think it's like he lost to her 2001 times.
2000? Sorry?
No matter what, she couldn't be beat. But her dad was still like, no, you can't become a swordsman because you're a woman. A woman.
No, huge L, actually. So did he let Zoro train to be a swordsman?
Of course he did.
Bro. Zoro fans, I'm sorry.
Kureha died. Koushirou gave Zoro the sword that was rightfully Kureha's. That's probably the only good thing he did Personally, Zoro now carries Kuina's sword as a promise to become the best swordsman in the world, basically, to honor Kuina's name. Kuina basically grew up hating herself because of this guy. There's not much else to say. He doesn't show up too many times. He just runs the dojo.
So he massively favored Zoro, or like guys, i.e. Zoro, and yet Zoro still turned out how he turned out, as like a feral adult man. Green moss blob.
Do you have any questions? Any questions about him?
No, I don't. I don't want to see this man again.
So many people want to forget about this guy so bad that like they don't even put him as one of Zoro's mentors. I've seen that happen so many times. He's technically Zoro's dad, found father dad, this guy. And no one likes that. All right, would you like to rank him then?
Yes. Put this guy in F. And you know why in a sexy tier list he's going in F? And people might be like, oh yeah, but like, what if you had a one night stand with him? This guy hates women. What am I? A woman. It would just be missionary.
A woman.
And I don't want that. That's boring. I know it would just be a full night of missionary.
Look, all I'm saying is his daughter's dead. His wife is dead. What the is going on? All the women in his life gone. The only redeemable, sorry, I'll rank him now. The only redeemable thing about him is he's a bit attractive, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry, he's going on F. I don't care about this guy, this bum. This bum.
Get him off our screens! Imagine you really liked this man, right? You were like dating him and you really liked him, but you like were the parent of a daughter.
Imagine being like, oh, I can't wait for our daughter to be like an exceptional swordsman one day. No.
No.
Go yourself. God damn, didn't know you were like that. So yeah, this man, he just wants like a housewife. Don't fight. Don't be a fighter. Too bad. Dreams, get rid of them. You shouldn't be having those. So, nah, he sucks. He sucks donkey ass. I don't give a damn about this guy. I'm glad we got through him. I hate him. I hate this guy.
Zoro must have another mentor, right? He needs to be redeemed.
Does.
Someone needs to help him after being exposed to this.
You're not going to believe this. Zoro's second mentor. Not only is Zoro's second mentor the best swordsman in the world, right? So this is the master swordsman. He was the guy that Shanks fumbled. The second guy that Shanks fumbled.
Oh, there's lore. Here we go then.
There's lore.
Here we go.
Mihawk.
I love him. I love his character design already. Oh my god.
Oh my god. And now here's him in the anime without his hat. Oh my god, Christian boy.
I was gonna say, he's a man of Christ.
Now, you can't see his sword, and I kind of regret not putting a sword. His sword is like bigger than him. He looks like he's carrying like a crucifix on his back. He looks like the Spanish Inquisition. Oh god, I love this guy so dearly. Now, the thing with Sir Mihawk here is, so he is the best swordsman in the world, right? Oh, I forgot his full name, Dracula Mihawk.
Dracula.
Compared to Zoro, I think this guy's hilarious because Mihawk is so refined. He's so clean cut. He's so classy. And then Zoro is just like an animal.
How did this relationship between them, the mentor, happen?
Right. So what happened is they first met each other because Zoro was hunting Mihawk down. Because Zoro was like, if I hunt Mihawk down and I beat him, I'm now the
because he
master
wants to be
swordsman.
the best. Yeah.
He found him in very, very early stage One Piece during Sanji's arc. So like very early stage he found him. And Zoro was like, oh hell yeah, now I can beat him. He got totally washed, totally run through.
Of course, yeah.
Mihawk, he pulled out, you know the little, that little like necklace he has there, the little Catholic necklace?
Mm-hmm.
That's a dagger that he can uncap. And it's like tiny, it's like the size of a butter knife. And he says, and Zoro's like, are you mocking me? And Mihawk says, I'm not the type of like brute that hunts rabbits with a cannon.
Just clowning on him. I love it.
He absolutely destroyed Zoro with the dagger. And then by the end of it, he stabbed Zoro in the chest. But Zoro didn't back down. And Mihawk said, why aren't you stepping back? And Zoro said, because like a loss is worse than death. Mihawk thought that was fantastic. Because Mihawk, some fun thing about Mihawk, he's bored as hell.
Mm-hmm. He's so good at his...
He's so good that he hates it, essentially. So he saw a lot of promise in Zoro. And then he pulled out his huge sword. And he said, I will honor you by slashing you down with this sword. Ages later, Zoro got like sent overseas. It's a long story. Don't worry about it. He got sent overseas. He like got sent to Mihawk's castle. And he bowed to Mihawk and said, I need you to train me because I'm not good enough the way I am. And Mihawk thought that was hilarious. Mihawk was like, all right, I'll train you.
All right, dude, why not?
And I left out like the best part. When Mihawk first got introduced, he sailed in on like, his ship is just a tiny coffin. Just a little coffin. And he was hunting down this huge fleet in the east. A huge fleet. And the captain yelled at them, you monster, why do you keep hunting us? And Mihawk shrugged and said, for fun.
Oh, I love him.
I burst out laughing and I was like, this is both the coolest and funniest guy I've ever seen in my life. Perona was also living in Mihawk's castle because she got sent there as well. And Mihawk just doesn't give two shits. Like, he's just like, I guess I live with these two now. in my like musty gothic castle, and there are monkeys living all around his castle, and these monkeys have like trained themselves to fight the way he does, because the way the monkeys work is they imitate humans. And one of them has like his hat and like his sword, and Mihawk says to Zoro, all right, if you want to get better, go and fight the monkeys.
I loved it. Mel, this guy has no downsides at this point.
Wait, he gets better and better. He's also essentially a wine mum. He loves his wine.
Yeah.
We've seen him drinking wine so many times. The other thing is he's also a farmer. So he wants to live in solitude. He doesn't want to be chased anymore. He hates the world. He's sick of it. To keep like away from society, he farms. He's got his own farm.
He's self-sufficient.
So this man has the power of like, God, who knows how many people. And he just wants to farm and drink wine and probably eat delicious cheeses. The reason people say Shanks fumbled him is because Shanks and Mihawk were rivals once upon a time on the seas. And Mihawk walks up to Shanks in the very early chapters, and Mihawk like sees that Luffy has Shanks' hat, and he says, why does this guy have your hat? And Shanks, tells him, oh, this and that. And then Shanks is like, anyways, are you here to fight me? And Mihawk essentially says, no, I don't fight has-been bums. He's like, I don't fight like losers with one arm.
I love this
It's
guy.
so funny. Shanks has a relationship of some kind, a rival relationship with Mihawk, and now Mihawk is like, you're a bum. You're washed.
This is like, you know when like a normal person is beefing with a big account on Twitter and the big account like isn't acknowledging them.
But yeah, no, I absolutely adore this man. I think it's fantastic. Do you have any questions about him?
I'm gonna be real. I think this is my ideal man. Like,
Right? Right?
I feel like I could rock up to his big castle. Corona's there already, so that's already good for me. He would just let me there. He'd cook, probably. Like, he's got protective monkeys. I think if there was a zombie apocalypse, he'd be amazing.
You remember Crocodile, right?
Yes, yeah, Crocodile.
He's currently formed an alliance with Crocodile and Buggy, and it's called the Cross Guild.
Shanks, don't listen.
But the other thing is, when there's like a little scene, it's so funny, of when Perona's like, she's like, I'm leaving. I don't want to be here anymore. Perona's like, I made you all these delicious treats and like all this food, and this is how you like repay me. Like, he doesn't give a shit. And Mihawk says to her, I was the one that cooked the most. He was like, you barely cooked.
He's like, girl, I'm setting the score. I love this guy. I think he is my ideal man.
I agree. Would you like to rank him?
Yes, please. I think you know where this guy's going. Like, I love him. He's a goth guy. He is just really chill.
He's got beautiful eyes. All right, where's he gone?
He's obviously going in S. There is literally not
There
another
he
spot
goes.
for this guy.
Top tier. Absolute top tier. You are so correct. What are your reasons?
Goth guy, swordsman, zombie apocalypse survivor. Like, it hasn't happened yet, but he would survive. Demeaned Zoro, but redeemed himself in the end. Also, just letting Shanks take every L.
It's so funny. Bum. I don't fight like has-beens. He's so funny. He truly doesn't give a shit. All right, my turn. Sarah, you know exactly where he's going. Of course he's going in as.
Look at this. Look at the list being
Look at us.
curated.
One of my trophy wives. I love Mihawk so dearly. So many reasons. First of all, a farmer. Second of all, a cook. He could be the perfect housewife. Third of all, wine mum. This man is, not everyone will agree, this man is like a MILF to me.
No, I totally understand. Like,
I love the goth MILF. I love him so dearly. He looks so well maintained. I can tell this man showers every day. He puts on like cologne every day. Trims that little mustache and beard he has every day.
yeah, workout routine every day.
He is also low maintenance. Like, he just wants to be left alone. I can respect that. I also like being left alone. You probably wouldn't have to see him too many times a day, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I like, a loving person, a loving man. I truly do. But there are benefits to a beautiful housewife that, is fine to just see you like once a week,
That's ideal. I mean,
Exactly. We all love differently, right? We all show affection differently. I would show affection by popping up once a week, sitting down to have some dinner, have a beautiful bit of wine by the fire, that kind of stuff. He'd probably appreciate that. Just so long as I'm not a bum has-been. He should like me.
I just love that he absolutely clocked Shanks immediately. That's so funny.
Yeah, and now recently he's now bullying Buggy with Crocodile, like they bully Buggy.
Oda, One Piece creator Oda, if you're listening, I want a little spin-off for this guy, please.
10 out of 10. The aesthetic, like Spanish goth.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
I mean, thinking back to my previous tier lists, I feel I definitely, if they are goth, they are always further up than they probably would or should be.
Also, I didn't put it in the little image thing here, but he has an infamous bathroom in his castle. And the reason, listen, let me explain. The reason it's infamous, it is just a toilet in the middle of the room, hard bolted down to a rug, with no sink and no toilet paper in sight. It looks ghastly, and it's like, I'm positive he doesn't actually use that. I am so sure that's just for intimidation. All right, are you ready to move on to the next gal? It's a woman this time.
Girlies!
Bellemere.
Ooh, does she look like Nami, or is that just me?
A little bit. That's kind of One Piece.
Yes, the woman face in One Piece. I like her hair.
I know, right? I love her. She used to be a Marine, but what happened was on a island that had like a war break out between like pirates and Marines, Bellemere was basically dying until she looked up to see a little girl, and the little girl was holding a baby. That was Nami, who was the baby, and her sister Nojiko. Bellemere saw little baby Nami and saw little baby Nami laughing, and because of that she thought, I want to live because I want to protect these girls. And then after that she decided, I'm going to raise these two girls, I'm going to be their mom. She had no money, she's dirt poor, and she owns a tangerine farm, and that's why Nami likes tangerines. And then what happened was Arlong, you remember Arlong, don't you?
Yes. Fishy?
Big fishy. Arlong walked in to their island, put on a living tax for everyone on the island. Bellemere at first tried to fight them off, couldn't do it because fishermen are just ridiculously strong. So the village were saying to Nami and Nojiko, don't go to her. And they were about to leave her alone until Bellemere broke down crying and said, I can't do this, I've got 2 daughters. And then Nami and Nojiko ran out crying, and Bellemere, was basically saying, always remember this, always remember me. She died with a gun to her head by Arlong, and her last words were, Nami, Nojiko, I love you.
Aww.
We ranked Arlong so highly.
Yeah, but this is like a different vibe,
She had a whole speech about like, Nami, Nojiko, women have to be strong too, girls have to be strong too. So she was a very good mother, and I love her because there's like a scene of like Nami beating up a kid, like a boy, and Bellemere's like, why'd you do that? Why'd you beat him up? And Nami says, he made fun of your tangerine farm, and then Bellemere started beating him up. So for the small amount of time we see her, she's got so much character, and like you can see so much of like Nami, because Nami is a very violent person, like she is, and she truly got that from Bellemere, and it's like, I just think that's awesome. But Bellemere was so cool, and she is definitely one of the like best mentors in my opinion, because she's just, you'd rather die standing, you'd rather die standing than live kneeling. So do you have any questions?
I just want to say that I love her. Do you think, I know she's dead, but if she wasn't, do you think she's looking for a wife?
So would you like to rank her?
100%. She's going in S, bro. Like, she's beautiful and her personality is just perfect. But this is a character that I would have a long-term relationship with. That's where my S tier is. It's my long-term relationship characters.
I agree. My list is so weighted. So weighted because, of course, she's going in S. Where else is she going? She's hot. She's like strong, like that, you know what I mean? That's a woman.
Look, if there's something about me, it's that I love an angry woman. And I think I could calm an angry woman. You love a sad man. I love an angry woman.
All right, let's move on. I feel like we're going to be disappointed next. Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't say, oh, yeah. I'm here on my own free will. I can walk out.
That's disappointing. It's just this guy has not much character, but we'll move on to him anyways.
Hit me with it, though. What do you mean he has no character? You're looking at him.
His name is Haredas? I don't know how to say his name. Here's how he looks in the anime.
Stop laughing. I like him.
I don't know much about this guy's character. No one really does, but he's a weather wizard. So Nami works with weather, right? She got sent to Nami got sent to this weather wizard island where literally all these wizards that live in the sky were weather professors. And Nami learned a lot more about weather from them. And I need to show you this because this made me laugh so much. After Nami left, their fashion fashion.
No, I love these guys. What the hell? What do you mean nothing going for him? I don't care if he doesn't have a backstory. Look at him.
Well, I don't think there's nothing going for them. There's just not much character. So literally all we know about these guys is that they're just weather wizards. This is just one of them. The drip, unreal. So that's all I can really say. There's truly not much to say about them.
I love these guys. I want to be like these weather wizards. I want to be surrounded by my fellow weird wizardy people. I don't think they'll be in S because, I mean, they seem to be a collective at this point, and I'm not sure actually if I could deal with this many weather wizards in one night.
This many absolutely stunning, attractive weather wizards.
Yeah.
Here's the question, Sarah. Do you prefer them in their wizard robes or in their drip?
I like both. I love a wizard. You know I love fantasy stuff. But I also do love this drip. As you know, I love this sort of drip. Especially the polka dotted suit.
I know. I was looking at that one too.
And the fact that they took all this fashion advice from Nami as well is a great sign.
All right. So would you like to rank this single weather wizard Haredas?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to rank them as a collective, I feel, in their drip. But the spirit remains with Haredas.
Where's he gone?
So these weather wizards are going to go in B. Because if there's one thing about me, I mean, I'm best friends with you. I love someone with a special interest.
You can't say that. You love someone with a special interest?
Yeah.
Unbelievable that you just said that.
You
Anything
have
else?
one. That's it. That's all you need to know. What about you, Mel?
For me, I'm putting him in C.
Why?
I'm putting him in the same as Shanks because I like him. There's just not much. Like, I need to know more to feel some lust, you know?
And do you when you approach someone in a bar, do you need to know more about them?
Yeah, I talk to them. What do you think I am? Yeah, whatever. When I'm putting him in C, he's going in C. And you can cry about that all you want, but that's just how I feel about him. Now, are we ready for the next one? The first mentors, actually. Dorry and Brogy.
Oh my god, Usopp has mentor dads.
Dorry's the brunette, Brogy's the blonde. These are giants, these two. Here's what they look like in the anime.
Are they supposed to be like kind of Viking-y?
Yeah, they're meant to be Vikings, and they come as a pair. That's why we will be ranking them individually, but they come as a pair. I couldn't possibly split them apart because the whole thing is like, even their wanted posters, because they're pirates as well.
Oh, they're together.
Are together. They've got a single wanted poster with both of their faces, Dorry and Brogy. But 100 years ago, they were co-captains. So they were co-captains. Together, they were captains. Pirates and together captains. Look, I'm just going to say it. If anything spells married...
Yeah, these bitches gay.
Come on. Like, some people give me a funny look when I say that. And I'm like, that is not a crazy thing. What's happened with them is they were co-captaining, and then they both caught like these huge sea monsters. And they were like, yeah, let's go. And the little girl who was like on the island that they were on asked them, but which one's bigger? And since then, they've been like fighting about it. So 100 years later, I believe it is, they are still fighting about it. But they've forgotten what they're even fighting about. The most important thing is the fights aren't like malicious. They're not bad. They're like having the time of their lives. And every time a volcano goes off, because there's like a volcano on the island.
Right.
They just go and fight each other. And they've been in a draw every single time. It's nothing but a draw. Usopp stumbled across these two, both Usopp and Luffy, but again, it's mainly Usopp. Stumbled across these two and talked to them. And Usopp thought they were so cool and they were just so manly that he was like, I want to be a warrior like them one day. And they're so friendly as well. They're like so nice. They're literally just a pair of nice guys. What happened when the Straw Hats were on the island is these agents, like these bounty hunters, were there trying to take out the Straw Hats, and they sabotaged the giants' fight by making one of them slip over. And Brogy swung down his axe and he thought he killed him, and he started crying because he thought he killed him. When all of it is settled and the bounty hunters are gone and they've been defeated, Brogy's still crying, and the Straw Hats are like, oh god, he just like lost his boy best friend essentially. And then Dorry sits up and goes, what the hell happened? And then look, he hugs him.
Oh, Mel, I'm obsessed with them.
And Dory's laughing and is like, why are you crying? Like, you shouldn't be crying. I need you to know, Brogy cries so hard that a rainbow forms.
Because he's so big as well.
To get the Straw Hats off the island, there's like a huge sea monster. Dorry and Brogy give up their weapons. So their attack is a combo attack. Mm-hmm. They combo attack the huge giant and they give up their weapons. And then they go back to just fighting each other with their fists. So yeah, is there any questions you have?
I have no questions, but about these guys, but I do have a question for you, Mel.
Yes.
Do you want to be these guys? Can we fight a volcano?
But that means we'll be in love.
Oh, But I love these guys. I love them. They're large and in charge. They're fighting each other at a mountain. That's just... I guess we're ranking them separately, but you're right. In some ways it feels wrong.
Hang on, let me grab both of them.
Grab them both, yeah, and we'll have a think. So I think they're going to have to go in the same tier. And I guess my biggest apprehension about ranking them in my lust tier list is that they are in love. You know, it's very obvious, right? There's connotations to some of these, but like these guys are for real married. So would they even like me?
They'd like you, just maybe not like that.
That's what I mean. I want to join in their wrestling match under a volcano that's erupting.
Sarah, I was about to say you'd be crushed. They'd be like, what was that, when they step on you?
So as much as they're amazing, I think they're both going to go in the spot I have in E. Not because I don't think they're attractive, I don't think they're great, but because I don't want to be a homewrecker in this scenario because it's so wholesome.
All right, for me, I agree. They go on an E for the exact same reason. Personally, appearance-wise, I prefer Dorry. That's only because he's a bit more baby girl looking to me, personally. I like both of them. I like both of them very much.
Now, I think we should cosplay them.
I think we should. No, wait, you're so right.
Gives us an excuse to fight.
It does, right? We can start punching in the middle of the hall. I agree with you. I love them so dearly, but they are to not be separated. I don't want to get... Exactly, I don't want to get between them. And also, I will be squished like a bug. Like, they will step on me and they'll look at their foot and go, ew. I want to find my Dorry. Also, I forgot they have laughs. Brogy laughs like, get ba 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 ba. All right, let's move on.
Let's go.
I don't have... Oh, God, I love this.
That's like, you know, like when you go and see a statue of like a Greek god or something in a museum.
That one wrestling statue. And I was like, wrestling? Now, this next guy is like the wizard. Not much to say about him, but he looks cool. His name is Heracles because he's like the Hercules beetle.
I love him. I love his style. He's a little bit goth.
He's a goth. He's meant to be like a rhino beetle. Anyways, his name is Heracles. Not much to say. We don't see his face. No idea what his face looks like. You know what I hate? This is my pet peeve in so much media. When you introduce a masked character, don't take it off. It ruins it. So I don't know. There's not really not much to say. This guy lives on an island where like everything is food and everything wants to eat you. Usopp gets sent to that island and he's like a sniping king. And Usopp, that's why he's Usopp's mentor.
Yeah, because Usopp has the gadgets and stuff, yeah.
Not much to say about this guy apart from he just helped Usopp train on his island. Yeah, and he's cool. He's got a cool appearance. I wasn't going to include him, but when I told Twitch that I was doing this with you, someone said, yay, Heracles! And I was like, oh shit.
Well, I'm glad you included him because I like his aesthetic. That being said, I'm really scared of bugs. I tried to hide it when I was around you because you're Australian, so...
That's so embarrassing for you. Where's he going?
I think I'm trying to outweigh my fear of bugs, but I can't, so he's going next to Shanks in D.
Sorry, I was actually staring at Shanks and laughing and thinking, holy shit, this is like devious that he's down there with Heracles. That's just unreal. Oh God, I'm so scared for both of us. Shanks, you're just not buggy. I'm sorry. Okay, for me, he's got a nice little spot in D. He's got a cool aesthetic. I think he's cool. I really appreciate what he did for Usopp. He's a very good mentor. I like his Power Ranger thing going on. Yeah, again, I don't know much about this guy. Like, I'd have a drink with him, for sure. I have no doubt so long as he doesn't take the helmet off, I'll be attracted. I met you with the helmet on, you keep the helmet on. That's the rule. Also, mine is devious because putting Shanks with the Let's move on. We're on to Sanji and Sanji's mentors.
Okay, I'm excited.
Your tits are going to get blown off. Zeff. Now, you can't see it, but I need you to know his hat is like comically long. Like it reaches the ceiling.
Oh, I see. He's a chef. I see.
So Zeff used to be a pirate. I guess technically still is, but he used to be a pirate captain. So Sanji originally was just some kid that was randomly living in the east and he ran into Zeff and he jumped forward and he bit Zeff on the leg.
I'm assuming he was really small.
He was tiny. He was a little baby. He was like 10. Sanji went flying overboard because it was a storm. And Zeff jumped in to save him. Zeff saved Sanji during the storm, put him up on this rock. Zeff was on one side, Sanji was on the other. There was a bag of food for both of them. Eventually, Sanji's food all eaten like a month later, he had no food left.
Oh god, they were stuck for that long.
Sanji decided to go check and see if Zeff is still alive because they hadn't talked to each other the whole time. Sanji saw that Zeff's bag of food was still full to the brim. So Sanji ran out at him with a knife. He opened Zeff's bag and he saw that there was nothing but gold. Jewels and gold in it, no food whatsoever. Zeff hadn't eaten the whole time. He gave all his food to Sanji. And Sanji was like, but then how did you survive? Turns out Zeff broke his own leg off to eat it.
Oh my god.
And the reason that was such a big thing is, the food aside, Zeff fought with his feet, with his legs, the way Sanji does. That's why Sanji fights the way he does, because he learned from Zeff. They have a weird relationship where they just fight with each other all the time. But Zeff has had some L's. Like, he said to Sanji, like, you shouldn't ever hit women. I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, you and I both know that's such an outdated thing to say. So he's a bit of a boomer.
Yeah. But his heart's in the right place. Like,
I love him so much. And he doesn't... Actually, the funniest thing is, when Sanji was a little baby and when he was hiring people for the ship, they were like, hire women. We want women on the ship. And Zeff said no. And then they were like, why? And Zeff said, because the way I teach people is by, like, kicking them. And I don't want to hurt women. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so. I like this guy.
I love him so much. And you don't have any questions, so would you like to rank him?
Yeah, you explained a lot about him, so I don't think I have any questions. I like this guy. That backstory is crazy.
So where's he going?
I mean, he's going in S. Like,
wow, up he goes.
Like, yes, obviously he has like the women are fragile, slightly antiquated kind of mindset. But realistically, I feel like he seems reasonable.
He's somewhat reasonable. It depends. If you're working for him, he's not reasonable.
If I was a guest in his restaurant and he started treating me like some fragile thing and I told him to not do it, I think he'd respect that at least.
At the same time, I hate hearing that, oh, I would never like punch a woman. But at the other time, it's like, well, I'd rather you just not punch
anyone.
But it's a double-edged sword thing where it's like, I don't like why you're saying that, but I also appreciate that you at least won't hurt me, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's not the same with the same intent as that guy we put in F.
Well, because his Koushirou's intent is women just can't do anything. Zeff doesn't think that. But he's not going to go up to a woman and say, you can't be a swordsman.
He said, he's like, it's not that I don't want women to train to be chefs here because I don't think they can be a chef. It's because I don't want to kick him. He's S. I want to help him raise Sanji.
For me, he's going an A. I like him a lot. So sweet in terms of like, he's got such an Italian energy about him. Of course, the only downside is I don't agree with all of his views. He's got some problems, right? I can see it. He's got a lot of positives. He's very sexy as well. I think he's very sexy. He looked so hot when he was young.
I want to twiddle his moustache.
Also, how tall his chef hat is. Imagine all the rats that are under that hat. While I wish he wasn't as much of a boomer as he is, he's clearly a good man. I would definitely bed this old man. That's it. That's all I have to say. I love you, Zeff. Mwah.
We love you, Zeff.
Call me. Are you ready for this?
Hit me. Who's this person?
They are a drag queen. Their name is Iva, or Ivan, or Emperor Ivankov. They go by Emperor or Empress Ivankov. So basically, hang on, let me show you the anime.
Oh, I love them.
They call themselves like the queer queen or the queer king. It's literally either or, it doesn't matter. The way we are introduced to them is they're in a prison, on a prison level that they've made a haven out of. This prison is called Hell, but Iva comes out saying, if it's hell, at least it's a gay one. And they're also a revolutionary. So they're in something called the Revolutionary Army. They're part of basically tearing down the government. Be gay, do crimes is literally what Iva is. And their power is so goddamn funny. I think it's amazing. They have something called the hormone fruit. And what they can do is they can inject you with either estrogen or testosterone.
Oh my goodness.
And they break out of prison with Luffy and they help Luffy with a lot of stuff. So they also help Luffy. Sanji is the one that they end up coming across because Sanji is thrown. So do you see like all the pink around them?
Oh, right.
This is the island that Iva is the queen of. They are the emperor of this island. These two are so funny. They run into each other and Iva is like, hang on a minute. What do you mean you're friends with the Straw Hat Boy, Luffy? No, you're not. Sanji and Iva have the exact same level of dramatics when they talk to each other. Like, that's clearly like the point. It's very clear that the relationship between these two is very, very sweet, in my opinion. Very cute. It's very much like Zeff and Sanji. Iva teaches Sanji, God, it's called like bridal style is what it's called, which is a cooking method. So Sanji's second mentor is this beautiful drag queen. This is one of the best mentors Oda's ever made ever. I'm not even joking. I love them. Everyone loves them. You can really feel all the love put in Iva. Do you have any questions for me?
So does Iva have a crew?
Their crew is the Revolutionary Army.
Oh, okay, got ya. So I love this Iva. I remember talking about Bon Clay, who seems to have a kind of a similar vibe, right? I love them. And they are going in S.
I forgot one of the most important parts. One of the things they say when they attack or when they're excited, they say hee-haw.
I love this character. My tier list is so weighted to S. It's really becoming apparent that Sanji just loves people that he can argue with. He doesn't know how to have a normal conversation.
Yeah, no, he has no idea how to have a normal relationship. He's a broken boy. For me, same as Zeff, go on an A. This is where Sanji's mentors are going.
So why not S?
Because I feel like I wouldn't be enough for Iva, but at the same time, I feel like Iva is happy with where they are. I don't know where I'd fit. I don't think Iva's got the time for me.
I don't care if Iva doesn't have the time for me. I only need like 2 minutes.
I will make them make that 2 minutes. Good lord.
Like, I don't care. Appreciate everything that Iva has done for that blonde twink. So whose mentors have we got next?
Chopper.
I'm locked in. Hit me.
It's Rick.
Rick.
From Rick and Morty.
I was about to say.
No, it's Hiriluk. It's his name is Dr. Hiriluk. Here's what he looks like in the anime with chopping.
Wow.
Dr. Hiriluk, he's literally called a quack. Like, he's a quack doctor.
Oh, okay.
So do you know Chopper's story? You know Chopper's story, right? His little monster.
He doesn't have a PhD.
Chopper's story is that when he was a little baby reindeer, he was essentially kicked out of his herd because he had a blue nose. Then he ate the human fruit on accident and he became like a little monster. He used one of his human forms to try and befriend the people of the island. They thought he was a monster and they shot at him.
No.
Dr. Hiriluk, this man, found Chopper bleeding out. But as he opened his doctor's briefcase, there was like something in there that looked like a gun. And Chopper freaked out because he was scared of guns. And then Hiriluk stripped himself naked in the snow.
What?
And yelled at Chopper, "Look, I'm not gonna hurt you. Nothing's on me. I'm not gonna hurt you." Hiriluk had a bad reputation on the island because he was a doctor, but he was a bad doctor. He was a really bad doctor.
I see.
He would steal from people because doctors on this island were being hunted down and the people of the island weren't allowed to have any doctors. They had to pay.
That's crazy. Imagine living in a world where you have to pay to get a doctor.
Yeah, I wonder what Oda's commentary was. Either way, he was doing his best. He was raising Chopper and healing Chopper. Also, I forgot to say, he's the one that named Chopper.
Oh.
He's the one that called Chopper 2020 Chopper. He shot at Chopper and Chopper cried and ran away. We found out the reason for that is because Hiriluk was dying and he didn't want Chopper to go through that.
No.
So he said, I had to scare Chopper off because there was nothing else I could do. Chopper heard of this, so he went to go get a mushroom for him. And when Chopper comes back from getting the mushroom, he's like totally messed up. And Hiriluk hugged Chopper and Chopper said, "Can I be a doctor like you?" And Hiriluk said, "Of course you can, Chopper, because you have a good heart." Hiriluk then goes to the king's house of the island, the king's castle. He basically goes there to himself. What happened? This is so heartbreaking. We're meant to be feeling lost. So Hiriluk really liked pirates. So he showed Chopper the pirate mark, which is a Jolly Roger. Chopper knew the Jolly Roger mark as something cool. That was a skull and crossbones. There was a skull and crossbones next to the mushroom in the medicine book.
Oh, no.
So instead of dying because of Chopper, he decided to basically strap himself up with bombs. And he blows himself up in front of the king.
Oh my god.
Either way, this man was Chopper's dad. Right?
Yep.
He named him, he raised him, and Chopper, the only reason Chopper wanted to become a doctor was because of Hiriluk.
So Chopper accidentally killed a man.
How dare you? Oh my god, I cannot believe you just said that. Is there anything you have to ask about this man?
Is his hair like that for a reason? Is it because it's a cross?
I think it's, yeah. Would you like to rank him?
So, I think I do feel, as much as I feel safe in his arms, I feel slightly scared about him with a syringe. He's not ethical, maybe morally. He's like Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not an ethical doctor. So I think in saying that, he's gonna go with the weather wizards in B. He's definitely above neutral, but I would be slightly scared that I could spend a night with him and then wake up as a medical experiment.
I agree. For me, I like him. I don't feel much lust because I agree he's kind of scary. He's nice in the way of like, oh, you're so good with kids, you know? But here's my thing, I don't care about that. So he's got a good heart. What he did was awesome. Do I feel much lust for him? No. So he's going in D.
Yeah,
for
you
me.
put him in D.
But I don't feel much attraction. Much attraction there.
I do. I'm just slightly scared I'm going to be experimented on, but kind of excited in a way.
You wake up with a syringe in you. Oh my god, I'm so excited for the next one.
Very excited. Hit me with it.
Oh, baby.
I love the drip.
Kureha, her name is the mark Kureha has there on her shirt. So that's like a Hiriluk chopper thing there.
Oh, I love her.
She was one of Hiriluk's friends. Originally, what she'd do is she'd operate on people. So she's a very good doctor. Very, very good. She'd operate on people and then she'd be like, okay, I'm taking this and I'm taking that and I'm taking that.
Oh.
She operated like a pirate. The first time we see her, there's like a child crying and it's really funny because she like throws the child down onto a table and he's going, my leg hurts, and then she like pinches him in the arm and he goes, youch, and she goes, well, now you've forgotten your leg hurts. Chopper came to Kureha and waved Hiriluk's flag and begged her, please teach me to become a doctor. Because Kureha said to Chopper, you need more than a good heart to become a doctor, you also need to know medicine. So Hiriluk was the good heart and Kureha was, the medicine side. And saying that, she does have a good heart. She's very cool, but her running gag is she's like 139 years old. And she always says, I'm in my youthful 130s. She's so funny. I love her so dearly. And she's so cool. Chopper says to Kureha, I want to go with the Straw Hats. I want to go with Luffy. They really like me. And I love Kureha because she starts throwing axes at Chopper and says, you're not leaving. Turns out she did that because she didn't want to say goodbye. Because she said, I don't like tearful farewells.
Aww. She was just being violent to get him out so she didn't have to say bye.
Right? And she's like Chopper's #1 fan. It's so cute. When we see her again, so this is just one panel in the manga. When we see her again, she's got the photo of Chopper's bouncy poster on her shirt. She loves Chopper so much, and Chopper calls her Doctorine.
I feel like I would trust her to do injectables into my face.
Do you have any questions about her?
Why the flame suit? Is there anything there?
Not that I can tell, but I really like her Guy Fieri fit there.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's a gilf. That's a great grand gilf.
She's serving the public as a literal public servant, as a doctor, and she's also just serving so much. The other question I have is all these people around her in the scrubs.
Oh, those are other doctors, so they all listen to her.
Oh, so she has them on call. I love her. If she told me I was dying, I would thank her.
Where's she going?
Mel, this tier list is so weighted. No, I'm going to put her in A. Again, I am very much one for universal healthcare, and I feel it's better to come out of taxpayer money rather than out of people's pockets. I know she's only taking what she thinks they can pay, but who is she to decide that?
I'm laughing at the gilfs that you've put together here. All right, my turn. She's got to go on S. I just don't know what. Yeah, I love mean women. I adore mean women. And she's so confident in herself. You know what I mean?
And you'd be so healthy.
Yeah, she might throw things at me. She drinks a lot as well. But look at, she's 139 years old. I think she's allowed to drink. She's also Chopper's #1 fan. That's a bonus.
That's a big bonus.
Greenest flag I've ever seen. When Nami was like being held down by her in the bed, I was like, God, I wish that were me. No, I adore her. I remember she's one of the characters that popped up and I was like, One Piece is so special to have a character like this. I love Kureha. So yeah, 100% S with Rayleigh as well. Let's go, Gilfs, the Gilf Club.
Woohoo!
It's not that Hiriluk is worse than her because I put Hiriluk in D. It's just that Hiriluk's not a hot grandma, is he? He's just not a hot grandma.
Who have we got next?
Saul.
Better Call?
I knew you'd do that.
He's huge. He looks like a lion.
I like Saul very much because Robin's life was kind of dog shit. She runs into Saul. Saul washed up on her island. And the way Saul laughs, he's got like an iconic laugh. His laugh is dead as she. Robin learnt to laugh like that when she was little. She doesn't do it anymore, but she did when she was baby. Saul basically told her, if you're feeling sad or you're feeling upset, you have to smile and you have to laugh. He was a giant that used to be a Marine. He had like the best line ever. He was like, the Marines have like basically a regime that he doesn't agree with. He says they're not doing doing anything good for humanity in the Marines, and he can't be part of this anymore. And he up and left, and the Marines at the same time ended up taking out Robin's island, and he did his best to save who he could only save Robin. And as she's getting away and her island is burning behind her, she's going dead as she. Apart from that, we don't know much about him. However, the fact that he used to be a pig, but now he's just your friendly giant, I'm such a fan of that. Do you have any questions?
He looks like a middle-aged man down the pub. Sorry, that wasn't any questions. I just...
But why is that necessarily a bad thing?
You have never walked in a British pub if you don't understand why that's a bad thing. But I'm sure he seems like a very nice guy, you know, this Saul, and I like his little hat.
Are you ready to rank him?
So like I said, just the general aesthetic is putting me off a little bit. So he's going in C, but that's not to take away from his wonderful personality.
Man, poor Saul. Not gonna call Saul. For me, funnily enough, I do agree with you though. He's going in C.
Mid.
Not a bad guy. However, he's not super attractive. No, he's not bad, but he's not, like, I don't feel the most amount of lust for him, but I think he could grow on me, and I think I'd have a good chat with him. I feel like he'd have some mad shit to say.
He'd have amazing tales and stories, I think, from his, like, life. I think I see him as more of a friend.
True, more in the I guess more in the dad side than on the lust side.
And as we both discussed, neither of us have daddy issues.
He doesn't make me feel carnal, so not the most lustful. Robin did have a mother, and she kind of counted, but she was like blood related, and I kind of wanted to...
Found family only, guys.
Yeah, I kind of wanted the mentors to not be blood related, so...
Oh my goodness.
His name is Professor Clover. Can you guess why his name
I guess so.
He's a 3-leaf clover though, not a 4-leaf clover.
He looks like a frat boy.
What the what frat boy? Hang on, explain.
The jacket.
The jacket?
It's got like the frat boy jacket.
What frat boy has this hair and beard?
I don't know. I'm not American. I'm assuming this is what happens in the frat houses.
The Clover frat house, and they all look like a field of clover.
Yeah, like Alpha Omega Clover.
We've only recently learned quite a bit about him. He's an archaeologist. He's not the reason, but he's how Robin learned to be an archaeologist. She learned all she knows from Professor Clover. We've only just found out he used to be like a bad bitch. He used to sail the seas as a criminal because he was trying to find the history of the world. That's an illegal thing to do in One Piece's world. Gosh, I wonder what Oda's trying to... What is One Piece trying to say with that? Well, I just don't know what One Piece was trying to say. But yeah, so he went out to try and find the history of the world, and when he was a young whippersnapper. Unfortunately, couldn't find a good image of him when he looked young, but he had the same haircut, but he was like jacked. He was a hunk. I love the aspect of him being like a bad boy, but in a scholarship way.
Yeah, no, I know. I get what you mean. Like, this bro was weaponizing academics against the government.
He's been killed, by the way. He got killed on the island. He was awesome. Big fan of him. Do you have any questions for me?
So, unless I missed it, why is he a clover?
I have no idea. No idea. Absolutely no idea. I really don't know. And maybe if he cut his hair to be a 4-leaf clover, because that's not a clover, that's a stem, maybe he wouldn't have died. Idiot. Anything else?
I think, again, I wonder what Oda's trying to say about how academics are actually uncovering the truth.
About how academics are important.
And how it's important, yeah. I do feel that this Clover that encompasses him may have problems in our bedroom encounter.
I don't know how he, like, lies down. Do you think when he's sad, it, like, wilts? Well, then where's he going?
So, I think he's going to go in B tier. And B tier is all these people I'm positive about, but I'm not sure. It's not long term, just a night, because it seems like this guy is one of these people where I think he's consumed more by similar to the Weather Wizards, he's consumed more by his passion and intellect and the thing he's interested in than he would be with me.
What do his looks do for him, for you? Any lust?
Yeah, he's alright. Why?
Now, because for me...
Oh no!
He's gotta go an E.
Why?
Don't get me wrong, I like him. He just looks too silly.
I like a silly, goofy person. I think that's a weakness in your character, Mel, and not his.
But I'm sorry. I'm not betting a dude that looks like a clover. When he was younger, he was a hunk. A hunk. He had the same haircut. First of all, what barber is doing this to you? Second of all, when did you decide that this would be your style? However, if he got sad, or if he were like dehydrated and his hair wilted like leaves, he might go up a tier. But in saying that, I loved this guy would be able to chat up a storm. I like him. I like him. Apart from him looking like an idiot.
Maybe he's so intelligent, he does this to mask his intelligence.
If he was so intelligent, he wouldn't be dead, Sarah.
Mel.
All right, let's move on.
Ooh. How do you get that figure?
His name is Tom. Tom's a fishman. Tom was the shipwright for the original Pirate King. So he found Frankie literally in a scrapyard. He found Frankie in a scrapyard, and Frankie liked making little battle boats, like guns. Because of that, Tom essentially took Frankie in as a protege. Not really took Frankie in. Frankie kind of just followed him. He liked Frankie a lot. Look how happy. He looks like such a nice guy.
Yeah, I like him.
Tom originally was going to be imprisoned by the world government because they found out he was the Pirate King shipwright. That's a no-no. Tom was saying, I'm making a sea train, and the court said, if you can do that, we will reduce your sentence. Their island was a very poor island, and they realized if they had this connection with the sea train, then they'd be able to make more money. So they all started making this little train together. About 10 years later, I think it was, the train was up and running. Everyone was so excited about it. They were so thankful they no longer brought Tom to prison. The world government was like, no, we can't have that. This guy's a criminal. He's got to go. It doesn't matter what he's done. So they used Frankie's battleships, all like 30 of them that he had, to stage an attack. Frankie had to take the fall, so Tom instead did it for him. Frankie originally was like saying, I regret building that, I can't believe I built that. And Tom said to Frankie, never regret anything you've built. And then Tom purposefully lashed out at the Marines so that he would only be hunted down. So Tom sacrificed himself. I don't know if we know if Tom is still alive.
I hope he's alive.
I don't know if we know where he is. Someone in the comments will probably be like, no, he's dead. I have no idea. So, let me know. But anyway, he was such a good man. He'd always be smiling. He always looked like this. He'd never not smile. Just a big jolly man.
Just wanted to make stuff.
Do you have any questions?
With these fish people, are they like a homogenous race? Like, are they all different?
They're all different.
I mean, my main question is, how do you acquire that physique? But I don't think you can answer that.
Gains, Sarah, gains.
That's crazy. Like, in terms of personality and stuff, I don't have any questions because he just seems like a great guy.
Look how little he is in this square.
I think he's gonna go in C again. And what I'm calling C is like my dad tier.
That's a weird thing. Hang on, Sarah. In the Lost list, you have a dad.
No, but like, as in like...
Sigmund Freud. You can't keep getting away with it.
I know what I mean in my head.
This is the dad tier.
S tier is daddy tier. C tier is like dad, but like in a mentor way.
Scratching my chin at that one. Well, Sigmund Freud aside, I know the little head. He'll go in D. I like him mucher.
Not in a particularly lustful way.
I don't mean to be shallow. A good personality can only take you so far. I am worried that he will roll away, personally. I think he'd be fun to bounce off of. Do you know what I mean? Not in a sexual way. In a way of like, you can run at him and boing. I think... God, this is f***ed up. I think it'd be great entertainment.
Oh my god.
But no, I like Tom a lot. I think he's got a fantastic personality, don't get me wrong.
I do agree. Now that you've said to bounce on him like a trampoline, that honestly, I'm thinking about doing that and nothing else. Who's next?
Alright, this man's name is Yorkie.
Like the chocolate bar?
He's not Brooke's mentor. He was Brooke's former captain. I struggled to call him a mentor. But the reason he's on this list is because I wanted to include someone from Brooke. And he's not Brooke's mentor, but I'd say he's someone called Laboon's mentor. Laboon is a whale that they met when Brooke still had this crew like 50 years ago.
Right.
Would you like to see what Laboon looks like?
I want to see how Oda draws a whale. It looks like a Pokemon.
This is when he's a little baby. So Laboon's as big as a mountain now. So the story of Laboon and Yorkie and Brooke. Yorkie and Brooke. Yorkie was Brooke's captain, previous captain. Yorkie loved music. He loved music. Yorkie's crew was a musical crew.
Oh yeah, because Brooke has the...
violin and the guitar.
Yeah.
The little whale, Laboon, he got separated from his pod and he found Yorkie's ship. And they said, oh, there's a little baby whale behind us. So they said, let's play a song for him to cheer him up. And after that, Laboon started following them. And they basically adopted Laboon as a little baby whale. The problem is that when they had to cross into a greater sea, they couldn't bring Laboon with them. So they elected to ignore Laboon, because there was nothing else they could do. And they thought Laboon had finally left and they went, okay, let's cross into the greater sea. Turns out Laboon had followed them over.
Laboon.
And then they said to the lighthouse keeper of the Grand Line, can you keep Laboon safe? We promise once we sail around the world, we will come back and get Laboon. Well, you know how Brooke's a skeleton?
Right, yeah.
So Yorkie caught the plague.
Oh.
And they had to leave Yorkie and half of the crew behind. And Yorkie said to Brooke, I need you to become the new captain. After that, Brooke and all that got targeted by other pirates that had poison arrows. All the crew was dying and they played a song before they all died. Because of Brooke's fruit, he got revived. He found his body again. Laboon hadn't seen them in 50 years. So now Laboon's as big as a mountain. All you need to know is Brooke and Yorkie were basically like Laboon's parents. I love Yorkie because he's a music-loving man.
Yeah.
I love his drip as well. Exceptional drip.
I was going to say his vibes are immaculate.
He looks a little Aussie and I can't explain why.
It's the shaggy hair, the hat.
Do you have any questions about Yorkie?
I don't think so. Again, my tier list is so highly weighted because all of the... And you're named after my favourite chocolate bar.
Are you ready to rank him?
Yes, I'm definitely ready. So, Yorkie's going in A tier. I feel... If he looked a bit less Australian, he would be an S.
Do you have a problem with me, Sarah?
No, the reason he's not in S is just he hasn't done like something as elite as the guys that I'd put in S, if that makes sense. Like, personality wise, he's excellent. He's attractive, he's a musician. He's just not at S tier. How about you?
For me, he's going... I'd say an A. Because you're right, he's not quite there to push him to S, but he's sexy. I think he's very attractive. Music-loving man. I love a music-loving man. Like, for all I know, he's like a pompous ass. For all I know, he's like, anyway, he's Wonderwall, you know what I mean? For all I know, he's like, you're wearing a Nirvana shirt and he's like, oh yeah, name 3 of their albums. You know what I mean? But I want to imagine he's not like that. I think he just likes music. When they saw little baby Laboon, they said, oh, he's so cute. And it's like, there's so many green flags on this man. Also, you know, realizing that his crew would be screwed if he didn't separate them. So he had to do that. But I love Yorkie. I think he's great. But you're right. Just not enough to push him to S.
Yeah.
But enough that I feel lost.
I think he would have a great bedroom playlist.
Puts on a, but maybe. I love him. He's good. And I know there's some fans of him out there, as there should be. I love boy drama, boy angst. That's why Shanks is where he is. If he didn't have that boy angst, he would not be in C. I'm sorry. Yorkie, he's got quite a lot of pain with him. That's also one of the reasons he's up there. All right, anyways, we are now on the last one. Did you know that?
Ooh, last person. Very exciting.
Fisher Tiger.
Frog? No. Hippo.
This shirt is incredible. Can you see the frog in it, by the way?
Is that like merch? Can I get this?
Anyways, here he is in the anime. Jacked beast. God damn. This guy's got a heavy story. So Jinbei and Arlong, by the way, Arlong and Jinbei knew each other. They were on the same crew. Arlong and Jinbei called this guy Big Bro. Big Bro Fisher Tiger. Or Big Bro T, I think is what they called him. He was a fisherman that sailed around the world, and that was a big deal because fishermen weren't allowed on the surface. So they're not allowed on the surface. Basically, he would sail around the world. He was an adventurer, and then he'd come back and report what he'd see to the royals of Fishman Island. And the thing with him is we found out that he was taken as a slave and he escaped by basically blowing like the place up. So he was in a place called the Holy Lands, and that's like the higher ups of higher ups. That's one place you do not around with in One Piece. So he's looked upon very highly by a lot of ex-slaves for what he's done, and he formed a pirate crew to work to try and liberate the fishmen, to try and bring the fishmen to see the surface and to see the sun. So if you can see it in this image, he's got a sun mark. So everyone on his crew got the sun mark, and the sun mark wasn't just there to represent freedom. When you become a slave, you get branded. The mark was there so anyone who was a slave previously had the mark covered up. And they had a little girl, a little human girl join the ship. Her name was Koala. She was previously a slave. She was like 6 or 7. She was a tiny girl. Fisher Tiger branded her with the sun and said, even though this is painful and even though this is harsh, this is the best way to, you know, make you stop thinking you're a slave. And they threw all their guns overboard so she wouldn't be scared, and they accepted her as one of them. And Koala, they like saved up to buy her like clothes and to dress her up all cute. It was so sweet. And they delivered her back to her people. Fisher Tiger got caught. It was a trap. And the way for him to survive was to do a blood transplant with human blood. But Fisher Tiger personally didn't want to do it. He said, I can never forgive humans for what they've done to me. Fair enough. You know?
Yeah.
Fair enough. But at the same time, he was like, I'm not a monster. I'm not as violent as them. And he was so beloved. He was beloved by all the fishermen, and his crew loved him. So Jinbei loved him, Arlong loved him, his whole crew loved him. And they were in shambles when he died. They went either way. So Jinbe is where he is now, which is with the Straw Hats, and Arlong is in prison. Do you have any questions for me?
Again, I want to say that I love this guy. Why tiger?
Because he's like a tiger fish.
I don't know what a tiger fish is, but I'm going to take your word for it.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Not a tiger fish, a tiger shark.
Oh, I was going to say. I like his sense of style. Again, just want to highlight the t-shirt. I don't think I particularly have any questions. Again, it's just another one of these tragic stories, isn't it? He's got an extremely girthy neck.
That's just One Piece. Did you see Jinbe's neck? All right, are you ready to rank him?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I have too much to say. It's difficult to make like a comment and it's just like a sad story.
Sad story. Now, would you this man?
And actually, I think the work he has done has elevated him, I feel, to S tier.
Oh my god, to S tier. That's so true, actually.
I like him, and I think he's a great guy, and I want to be around him. And did you see his body?
He's got a body yoddy yoddy.
What about you?
Now, I was thinking B's empty, but I don't want to put him in there just because it's empty. So I'm putting him an A. For me, a bit going on here because it's like, he's got a complicated relationship with humans. Personally, I'm not sure how we would work out, but I'd like to try. And that's the only reason he's on an S, because I'm not sure if he'd feel super comfortable with me. Yeah. That's okay. But of course, the biggest thing is, goddamn, that body. What is that Maroon 5? Holy fucking that body is insane. He could pick me up and hug me. And I'd say thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I could be his shoulder to lean on. I could be his person to cry to in the night. I'd be fine with that if he'd trust me. If he'd have me. It truly does come down to, but what about what he feels? That's it.
With that, I guess the question is, so what about how the audience feels about our rankings?
What about you, audience? You know what they feel, right? That
they clicked off the video after Shanks. That's what happened.
They did. I like how the only F we have is this mother.
Because he was the only objectively terrible mentor.
I'm sorry. I'm truly sobbing at the Weather Wizard and Clover being in B and Shanks being in D for you. The only thing that I think everyone's going to agree with is we both put Mihawk in S.
Yeah. I
say this actually, but Sarah, there's a whole community online that fights about Mihawk in terms of him not actually being a They call him Fraudhawk.
Fraudhawk? What is, like, you know, all the names they give the characters? Fraudhawk.
Yeah, and they call Sanji Gay Smoke, which is like the funniest thing ever. They kind of cooked with that one, I'm not gonna lie. My point is, the lists are looking good. I like the lists.
I think they're good this time. I think we're going to get good feedback.
Even though we're going to get mauled, it's a good looking list. All right, well, with that being said, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the effort that you do for these videos.
I turn up.
You turn up. A bit more of a solemn one, we must admit. But what can you say? It's One Piece. One Piece makes you laugh, makes you cry. It also makes you feel lustful.
But yeah, no, thanks for having me, everyone. Please, if you want to see me again, I only want to do a Perona scene tier list.
This was a good one. I'm so excited. I was so excited about this. I'm glad we got through it. Everyone, if you watched, let us know. Please don't be too harsh. If you liked the video, you know, what did we say last time? Dislike? Unsubscribe.
Dislike, unsubscribe, leave hate comments, and I'll see you next time when I get unchained in Mel's basement.
She's going back into the dungeon for now. She'll come back out for another tier list video, I promise. Thank you, everyone. These tier list videos are always fun to do. I always appreciate being here with Sarah. And, you know, see you again for another one. So, farewell, everyone. Bye, bye, bye.